All right, in this lesson, we're going to go back to a little bit more geometry, and we're going to look at the area of a triangle. How much does it take to cover a triangle? Now, a triangle is a three-sided shape. Typically, when somebody says draw a triangle, it looks a little bit like this. The side that is parallel to the bottom of your paper is usually called the base. The height is how tall it is from the bottom to the highest point. It has to be a perpendicular height, and so that is the height. Sometimes a triangle might look more like this. It's a right triangle. This is the base, and one of the sides is the height. Then a triangle might actually look kind of like this. And in this case, once again, the bottom is the base, but the height, the perpendicular distance to the height, is not a measurement inside the triangle. It's a measurement outside the triangle, but it's still from the position of the base to the highest point on the triangle. Now, that's what some of the looks triangles can take on. Something else I want to mention, the formula for the area of a triangle. Now, we've already studied a rectangle, and we know that it is area is base times height. A triangle is half of a rectangle, or half of a square, or half of a parallelogram. So the area of a triangle is half of this area, so it could be written as 1/2 base times height. In decimal form, it could be written as 0.5 times base times height, or it could be written as base times height, and whatever you get, divide by 2. It is totally your choice which one of those versions you want to use. I will tell you that I have found that the bottom two are probably the most popular. So I will probably use those in my examples when I'm dealing with a triangle, which I am in problem number 1. Find the area of the triangle. Okay, it is a triangle. Area is 0.5 times base times height. I've chosen that version. So it is 0.5 times the base is 2.9 inches. The height is 4 inches. So with my calculator, I have got 0.5 times 2.9 times 4, and I get that it is 5.8, and these will be inches times inches, which are square inches. Okay, now the alternate formula that you might have chosen, and I just want to show you, you get the same thing, is base times height divided by 2. So you could have 2.9 inches times 4 inches, and whatever you get, divide by 2. All right, 2.9 times 4 gives me 11.6. It's already square inches because it's inches times inches. Divide that by 2, and I'll still get my 5.8 square inches. So it is your choice whether you want to use that version or that version of the formula. You get the same answer. All right, let's look at our next one. Find the area of the triangle. Okay, area is, this time I'm just going to do the problem once, 0.5 times base times height. Area is 0.5 times the base is 1.4 inches. The height is 2 inches. Area is, multiply those 3 numbers, and you will get 1.4 inches times inches gives you square, gives you square inches. Area is always measured in square units. How many little squares would it take to cover up this shape? All right, let's look at number 3. Oh, this is not a triangle. This is a rectangle. So area is simply base times height. I can either do my work in fractions or in decimals. It's not usually a good idea to mix them. So I'm going to take 3/5 and change it into its decimal form. 3 divided by 5 gives me 0.6 yards. So the base is 0.88 yards times 0.6, that's a 0, yards, and 0.88 times 0.6 gives me 5, whoops, sorry, I don't know what happened there, gives me 0.528 square yards. It's a little over half of a square yard. And the same thing in the last one, switching back to area of a rectangle, and I have a decimal and I have a fraction, so I think I'll change this fraction. 2 divided by 5, that will give me 0.4 yards. So my area is base times height. It is 0.49 yards times 0.4 yards. So I can do that on my calculator, and I get 0.196 square yards. So it is just a piece of a square yard would be this area. Okay, so you've got area of a rectangle that you're reviewing and area of a square that we're doing for the first time using whichever version of the formula that you want. It's a good idea to make yourself a list of all of your area, circumference, perimeter formulas.